So we're going to talk a little bit broad about the NBA playoffs here, but we're going to do the 5 best teams in the NBA. So now we got the regular season completely over. We did have a play-in last night, but we're going to talk about who are the 5 best teams in the NBA. Now, my whole life, I've been a Laker fan. They're not going to win it. I love the Lakers. You know what weird is that even with a LeBron James, they don't feel like the Lakers to me. They just don't. The Lakers just don't feel like the Lakers with LeBron James there as well. The media, even me being a Laker fan, I'm kind of sick of them always talking about the Lakers because they keep trying to say that they're better than they are. They're facing Denver in the first round. They're not better than Denver. I mean, they're not even close. You got LeBron, who's really good. AD, I think, is good. They're not quite the same players they were a few years ago, and they're kind of where they're supposed to be. You got D'Angelo Russell, and you got some help there. The Warriors, they keep talking about now that they're going to stop talking about now that they're eliminated. It's over for the Warriors. Steph Curry had a great run. He's had a great run. He's a great player. Klay Thompson is about at the end. Draymond's not a scorer. As silly as this is going to make me sound, they really should have had it work out with Jordan Poole. It's going to make me sound silly because he's been awful, like for the most part in DC. But had that worked out, they could have extended their run. But they kind of ran them off. They had Draymond hit him in the face or whatever. So that was a problem for them there. So, and they keep talking about those 2 teams as if they're the only 2 teams. These, I think, are the best teams in the entire NBA. These 5 that we are talking about. Number 5, the Dallas Mavericks. Dallas, I don't think there's any question about it. This is just a nod. I think if I was to vote for MVP, and I certainly don't, but Luka Doncic is the MVP. He's Jordan right now. I don't think there's anything anybody can do with him. 30 plus points a game, about 9 rebounds, 9 assists. Kyrie Irving, though, has been there helping him, and he's been doing well. So Kyrie's been on the court. Kyrie's doing exactly what he should be doing, assisting Doncic in that backcourt, getting his shot off, handling when necessary, doing what necessary, and that's the only reason. I do like them over the Clippers. The Clippers, I'm kind of not buying. I don't think those guys feel inside like Kawhi Leonard. I think as great as he is, showed up just to get a contract this year. I think in large part, Paul George, kind of not the same player, although he's still a good player. Harden kind of put him a little bit in the bucket with the Lakers, just a little better version when healthy. But guys are not the same thing. Dallas, I think, is no joke. Dallas can absolutely cut down the nets. All 5 of these teams, I think, on this list can cut down the nets. I think Dallas is absolutely right there to actually do that. The Timberwolves. So Kevin Garnett rolling, happy to see this, I'm sure. The Wolves are no joke. The Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards, I think this is phenomenal. I think he's a guy who can get 30 points. He can get 30 points every single night. They're the best defensive team in the league, for whatever that's worth, right? Nowadays. It used to be like the best defensive team at like 90 points or 80 points. So they are giving up 100 points in a league or teams are scoring 120 or whatever. But this is the best defensive team in the league because they got they got a lot of good size. They got Rudy Gobert inside, and also they have Karl Anthony Towns. Towns has to come back healthy. So I'm having him this high thinking that as well, because that's the thing. They have to have Towns back healthy if they're going to win the whole thing, because he just got back. They're kind of easing him in. That's the thing. But I could tell you, with Edwards and you get Towns back healthy, you get Gobert there. Defensively, I think they're really good. They're competitive with everybody. I absolutely think they can actually win the whole thing here. The Timberwolves. Oh, wow. Disrespected the Thunder. If you watch First Take, man, that was totally disrespectful. Here's what I noticed, too, about these shows. One of the reasons I wanted to do this segment is now you're finally talking about the Thunder and the T-Wolves and the and the Nuggets. And, like, I'm a Baltimore show. I mean, we don't even have an NBA team, and I'm talking about it. Like, why are you talking about how good this Oklahoma City Thunder team is? Third in the NBA in points per game, first in the league in 3-point shooting. Uh, their team is phenomenal. SGA, I think, is an MVP candidate. If you give him the MVP, I really don't have any problem with it. 30 points a game, he gets it every night. Chet Holmgren, I think, is a home run for sure. He's definitely going to be. That's going to be a tandem that you're going to have to contend with for many years. Josh Giddey, I think, is coming along as well for them. The only guy, they're very young. The only guy I saw older was Gordon Hayward. I think he's there. He's like in his mid 30s, coming off the bench. But this is the youngest team, I think, to ever hold the #1 seed. They're really, really good. I absolutely think I'm buying. I absolutely think the Thunder can win the whole thing. I heard a couple people say, well, the Lakers got a break not playing the Thunder. No, they didn't. the Thunder would have horse raced them worse. And I think with the Nuggets, I think you could have a more physical game. The Thunder, you're not going to be able to do that. They're just going to horse race you. These guys are quick, young, and I tell you what, this franchise has really impressed me. This is how you do it. How about drafting players instead of waiting for the big three? How about getting young players in and drafting them and getting them in your program and not this is exactly how you do it, the Thunder. So #3 best record in the West. Oh, going the wrong way. I already talked about that. Management appreciates your cooperation. All right. #2, easily the best team in the East, the Boston Celtics. They won it by, I can't remember, a conference 14-game margin. That's insanity. Like, how do you win a whole conference by 14 games? But they did. Celts, I don't think this was my dad's favorite team. He'd be very happy with this version of Boston. Jason Tatum is terrific, as we know. I think he's definitely, I don't think he's going to win the MVP, but he's terrific. Jalen Brunson is outstanding. Kristaps Porzingis, Drew Holiday gives them more defense, which they could use coming over from Milwaukee. I don't think it's close in the East. I don't think any of those teams. Milwaukee and Philly are kind of. I'm kind of not. They kind of have their own issues. They got Doc Rivers. They got Doc Rivers in Milwaukee, so that tells you all you need to know. A lot of issues in Philly. I think the team actually, believe it or not, the first round, Miami, for some reason every year, they're in a 7-8 seed and they find a way to win these series or be super competitive in them. But I don't see it. Knicks, they were ahead of 14 games by the Knicks, and the Knicks don't have Julius Randle. No chance. Celtics, I think, definitely the best. #2. #1 is more drama. Denver, no question. Denver's terrific. Jokic, I think, is the best player in the league. Besides Giannis, I think Giannis is better. I got no problem with anybody thinks Jokic is better. Jamal Murray is the best superstar that nobody talks about. 20-plus points a game. He's a guy you can't even double because Jokic kind of takes up so much oxygen as well. Michael Porter Jr. is growing right before us. He's a tremendous player. Aaron Gordon, I think, is really good too. I think they definitely have physicality. They're not super quick as far as on ball. I mean, that's probably the only thing as well. But the Nuggets, I think they already won the championship. I think they're going to win it again this year. It's going to be them in Boston in the finals. So talking about how good the Nuggets are. Nuggets, #1 team in the NBA. There you go. All right. So definitely keep that in mind. NBA playoffs start on Saturday. So definitely check that out.